I think for the last few days you have been hearing that we have some what is suspected to be some political commotion here. I want to assure you there is nothing personal. Although our friend on the other side has tried to engage in petty politics by personalizing issues, we have nothing personal in this matter. Our differences and our concern are mainly public issues. But if I may go back to these personal things he has said, it's very unfortunate that my friend has not moved from where he was in 2007 when we first, both of us, joined politics. But it appears that he has remained there 12 years later with a lot of responsibility. He's wasting time with petty personal issues. I think everybody has the right to live the life he wants to live. But I'll only conclude by saying that where he was in 2007 by lying about my social life, he's still stuck there. I want him to outgrow that, and I want to stop that thing. You may ask then, if these things are not personal, what are the issues? If you watched our press conference here, me and Mzee Haji never spoke. Because with our background and our age, Mzee Haji has 57 years of uninterrupted public service. And me, I have 37 years. Our combined public service is almost 100 years. It will be very unfortunate if we went out there and started talking about an individual. It's a very painful thing. Because we have almost seen everything in life, and we cannot bring down ourselves to either confronting or condemning or mentioning somebody in public. So it was that serious for us that we left it to the younger people, generation, who maybe can still talk about others. So that much we never wanted to personalize anything, but you know that we are not in the same league with our friend. He's a big man, holding a big position in a party, but you can see that we are not in the same league, because we failed even to address our own press conference because we never wanted to mention his name. That's shameful for us. At the same time, we were placed in such a situation that we found it almost impossible to provide public service in this county without interference from our colleague. And one time or the other, it had to come to public knowledge for them to know what is going on. Because there has been interference with resources coming to us from the national government. As early as September 2017, when we just came in, the national government wanted to give us 140 million shillings to help with the intervention of water projects here in this town. Up to today, we have not received it. A month ago, we had a meeting with the residence of His Excellency, the Deputy President. And our county was the only one which didn't have a major national government project out of all the ASAL counties in the north. When recently a small project came to implement a small dam which will have helped our people in the rural areas. Our friend, because of personal interest, decided to locate it in town constituency, I think just beyond Bola Sagara here. A dam which will carry 120 million liters of water. So apart from the fact that we have no livestock or animals or people who will depend on that dam for 120 million liters because it's not been located in the right place, because our town is getting water from the river. But internationally, you don't put a dam in the middle of a major city like this because of design, because of construction mistakes. If that dam busts, the whole of this town will be swept into the Tana River and into the Indian Ocean. It's a danger to public safety. Recently, you have heard about the issues of our public servants and the accusations that they are not qualified. I'm not an employment agency myself. I cannot vouch for the qualifications of those people. But what I can confirm is every person who got a job with this county deserved that job. And I'm very sure those who employ must have taken into consideration the qualifications of those people in employing them. And what I cannot understand is how does it benefit anybody? 84 employees have been undergoing interrogation and interviews and intimidation for the last 2 months. They have not worked. Those are work hours lost for people who have no reason at all to be interrogated or to be interviewed. And up to now, we are not aware of anything which was found against them. So the issues on which we disagree and for which we want this county to be given the peace it deserves are only public issues, nothing personal, and we don't want to personalize it. Some people started speculating about whether what is assumed to be a divide at the national level politically might be making its way to Garissa, and that we are taking sides. As far as I'm concerned, there are no sides in our politics. We are all in Jubilee. There's some conversations going on. In our county, we have absolutely no time for that debate because we were elected. It's time to give public service. We simply want to do that. We have the President, His Excellency the President, who is the leader of the party. We have the Deputy President, they have a job to do. The President has not been here recently, but the Deputy President has been here a few times. And whenever he comes, there has been statements, what I will call sweeping statements, of people, including our friend, pledging, talking about 2022. Despite accusations of having started the politics of 2022, the Deputy President has never told us that he's running for office. In fact, whenever he came here, he has always been on a mission of part of his work. He has never asked for our vote. But some people, including our friends, have always made sweeping statements that we, are, we have decided a decision for 2022. And if you have followed, whenever I stood in that, in those functions, I've always thanked the DP for coming and told him that when 2022 comes, we will decide, because I don't control anybody here. We can only discuss and agree on something. I don't decide for anybody. Of course, our friend has always complained that I'm creating a setback, because after assuring that we have decided for 2022, that I was going back by saying that we shall discuss. There's no place we have discussed. And when it comes to political loyalty, I think because those statements are tantamount to cheating the DP, I don't think our friend is loyal to anybody. He's loyal to himself. I know he has sent Honorable Junaid to go and talk to Honorable Raila, that he has nothing against him. He has been making frequent weekly calls to this other team. He has been talking to Honorable Commander of the other group. I don't know even the name. What are they called? I know when it's Tanga, the other one, Kieleweke. I even don't know their names. So he has been talking to the Kieleweke. He has been assuring the DP that we have made a decision. So all these inconsistencies, I think, are not necessary at this stage. And what we are asking is very simple. Because after collectively electing our friend and getting a very important position in the party, which he has used every day against us. But let me tell you that because of the selfish nature of Kenyan politics, where every community wants something for themselves, we're still very grateful to the President and the Deputy President for making our friend the leader of the majority. Because from a selfish point of view, it's a position for this county, which we want to keep. So even when it has been used against us, when he is sabotaging our development and our unity, when he has no respect for us, still we value that position. You can appreciate the contradictions, because what we would have wished for was a situation where that position its inferiority was used for the benefit and for the unity of our people. But even in the absence of that, still we cannot disown him, because as a community we value that position and the fact that we hold it. And these contradictions are very painful for us. But what are we asking? You knew that some time back he made every effort to connect me to an attempted murder, which had absolutely nothing to do with, and which turned out to be nothing. And I entirely blame him for connecting me to that. It gave me bad publicity. But with all this, still, we are not demanding any apology. We are not demanding any compensation. All we are saying is let everybody do what he was elected to do. Me, I'm ready to serve these people. Let him join us, serve the people. We will be happy to work with him. He can abuse us, but I think that will nobody. We have not come from the moon. Kenyans know us. Garissa people know us. You don't go to a baraza and try to explain who so and so is. These are people we meet every morning. I was with people here at 5:45 this morning. So these are people we meet every day. You don't need anybody to introduce us. We will not be offended by anything which he said publicly, because that is not an issue for us. And I don't want you people to believe that there is anything personal in this matter. The ideal situation will have been where we work together for these people, because we have a lot of challenges. And Alhamdulillah, we were very worried when these people who look at the skies and make their own decisions, the other day told us there will be no rains until October. In fact, today when I came and I'm here, I was supposed to launch a major intervention for our people, for the relief of drought intervention, assuming that maybe that story was right. But alhamdulillah, we have got the rains. I had even cancelled 2 projects totaling 100 million shillings, so that we could divert the money to drought interventions. But all of a sudden, we have rain, everybody's okay, there will be no more water tracking, a few pockets here and there, but we don't have a crisis in our hands. But disaster is just in the corner. I mean, if the rains never came, we will have a major disaster in this county. And it will require the effort and the support of everybody, every time, and working together. And making us not get into a situation where we quarrel in front of Kenyans, especially some of us who are not used to this kind of politics. Which from a certain group of people, if you are not a noisemaker, they think that that's a political weakness. But it's our choice. We could become noisemakers, we could speak any language. I can put on a t-shirt and run the whole this town like a madman. I mean, all that is possible, but we choose what type of politics we want to play. So that's where we are, and thank you very much. Maybe I can answer one question. If there's something disturbing anybody, I can answer. Otherwise, thank you very much.